Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Paranormal News. Tonight's article comes from unilad.co.uk, and the headline, and this is a cool one, the headline is World's First Space Hotel with Bars and Cinema to Start Construction for 2027 Opening. It's written by Niam Shackleton, and it was published March 1st, 2021. An out-of-this-world space hotel is set to open in 2027. The hotel, named Voyager-class Space Station, will be the world's first space hotel and will be able to accommodate 400 people. As well as hotel rooms, the ambitious hotel will boast its own bars, cinema, restaurants, and spa. Orbital Assembly Corporation, OAC, the company building the Voyager, said construction will begin in 2025, with the intention of it being operational by 2027. OAC is a company focused on the colonization of space, something which is arguably aiming to do with the Voyager station. As per its website, the station is described as a rotating space station designed to produce varying levels of artificial gravity by increasing or decreasing the rate of rotation. The station will be designed from the start to accommodate both national space agencies conducting low-gravity research and space tourists who want to experience life on a large space station with the comfort of low gravity and the feel of a nice hotel, it further explains. The unique accommodation will consist of two concentric structural rings fixed together. There will be an inner and outer ring. The inner one will be a docking hub, while the outer one will be the backbone of the station and provide mounting for habitable modules, solar panels, radiators, and a rail transport system, and will be where people will be able to move about the station freely. There will then be pods attached below the outer ring, each of which will have different purposes. Some may be sold to NASA for research purposes, while others will be used for accommodation, restaurants, and bars. According to Space.com, the roots for the upcoming project has been in the works for years, after John Blencow founded the Gateway Foundation in 2012. The foundation founded the OAC. The Gateway Foundation was created to build the first spaceport. Explaining how it plans on doing this, the website explained, "To do that, we must first build a few smaller structures. One of the most important projects is the Voyager class of rotating space stations. This will likely be the first commercial space construction project in history. They're currently hiring talented and dedicated crew members for the project, which you can apply for here." And then there's a link that you can take to go and apply. And that is the end of this article. So, this one brings up a very good point that I have said on multiple occasions. And that is that once private business, right? Once corporations, and especially like the big global corporations, once they get involved in space travel and find a way to make money off of it, you are going to see an amazing acceleration of technology and capabilities. One of the best and smartest things that any of our presidents have ever done when it comes to space is when Trump basically told private business and rich people that you can shoot your rockets off if you want to. If you want to go to space, go ahead. It's all cool. Because what that did was open up an entire realm of possibility for all these rich billionaire people that are bored and don't have anything to do and they love shooting rockets off. So they're going to shoot rockets off because they can and they have the money to do so. Every time a rocket gets shot off, we learn something. Okay? Scientists learn something from that. And once they actually start constructing this space hotel, there will be a lot to be learned there as well. And Believe me, it's going to cost a fortune to go up in this thing. Now, I wouldn't go up in it right away. I would wait years before I ever even attempted to go up into some kind of space hotel, because you have no idea what's going to happen. We know what will happen long-term living in space. We've had people live on space stations for extended periods of time. But you have no idea if this space station is going to be safe. You have no idea if it's going to be really structurally sound. There's so much debris floating around orbiting the Earth. You have no idea if it's going to crash into something and have catastrophic failure. I would give it some time before you just jump up there and volunteer to go. Because if something bad is going to happen, it's going to happen early on. Let them work the bugs out, is what I'm saying. But what I would like to know down in the comments from all of you is, what do you think of this? Is this something you would do? Now, I know it's going to be crazy expensive, but let's say that somebody bought you a ticket. You didn't have to pay for it, right? So it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter if you're rich or not. Let's say they gave you a ticket for free. Would you go? And not only would you go, but when would you go? Would you be one of the first? Or would you wait until they kind of work all the bugs out and make sure it's not going to explode before you go up? That'll be a very interesting thing to learn. And what do you think of the idea of making space be for profit? I know there are a lot of purists out there who think that only scientists should go to space. But the problem is scientists don't have any money. And in order to do these things, they have to rely on the government to give them the money to do it. Now, I'm all for funding space travel. I'm all for funding NASA. I'm all for funding all of this stuff. But there's a lot of people that aren't. When Obama was in office, he completely gutted NASA. Got rid of the shuttle program. We weren't going to space anymore. We had to rely on other countries to give us a lift up to the space station because we couldn't do it ourselves anymore. So it changes depending on who the president is, the priorities of going to space. So one great thing about this is if you have corporations involved and you have the private sector paying for it to go to space because they see money to be made there, what that's going to do is kind of raise the level for everybody. It's going to bring a lot more knowledge. It's going to bring a lot more technology, a lot more innovation, and we will move along much faster than we would if we just relied on the government funding NASA to do it. But you're going to have a lot of for-profit stuff going on in space. You'll have eventually asteroid mining. You'll have colonization of other planets and setting up resorts on other planets for you to go to and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people might not like that. But let's face it, if you're going to go to another planet, it's going to end up being a vacation spot eventually. And even if you move there, you're going to be moving there for the experience of living on another planet, and you're going to want it to be nice. So if you leave that up to government, it's going to suck. Everything government touches, it destroys. It ruins everything. There's nothing the government does well at all. Everything the government does, the private sector can do way better and way cheaper and just better. So I have no problem with corporations going to space. I have no problem with it all being for profit because we are all going to benefit from that. Yes, people are going to make a lot of money. But you know what, man? People are going to make a lot of money anyway. These people are going to make money no matter what. It doesn't matter whether they do it in space or they do it here on Earth. They're going to find some way to exploit a need that we have and make a fortune off of it. That's just the way it is. Now, we can debate back and forth whether that's good or bad. And you have your opinion, I have mine, who knows? I'm not getting into that conversation here. What I'm saying is it will move that way down the track. A lot further than government will. So that's my 2 cents on it. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it. And once again, will you go? That's the most important question. Will you go if you have the opportunity? I think it would be very cool. It's also very scary because a lot of rockets fail. It's not an easy thing to get out of the Earth's atmosphere. And there is nothing routine about going to space. It's a white knuckle ride every time. You never know whether that thing's going to go right or whether it's going to blow up. So we haven't even reached the point yet where it's routine to be able to launch into space without anything going wrong. Once we reach that point where we can do it 1,000 out of 1,000 times and there's never an issue, then I might consider going. But until then, it'd be a hell of a thing to think you're going up to this cool hotel in space and the damn rocket blows up before you even get to space. And that's a possibility. So that's something to figure in. As always, thank you guys for your support. I appreciate you, and I will catch you on the next episode. Until I speak to you again, love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.